Hello, hello. Welcome back to the weekly Monday Motivation Podcast, No More Excuses. I am your host, Sandi Ballard, the badass business coach. And why do I say that? Well, I had a client call me that, and it's because I do help people realize their badassness so they can do more, be more, and achieve more. And so, how are you, right? Where are you? And that's where are you literally and figuratively, right? Here in California, it's still, back and forth on whether we have to wear masks, don't have to wear masks, whether staff have to wear them, whether they're optional, whether they're mandatory. It's just been crazy. 1 minute it's recommended and suggested, next minute it's not. 1 minute it is, but accept. And the whiplash kind of continues, doesn't it? And, I'd like to say that I think things are calming down as people are getting back to work, some people. But I'm afraid because if I say that, then, which I just did, maybe the murder hornets are lurking around the corner. And someone on Friday shared on Facebook, a friend of mine said, oh my God, there's a frog invasion somewhere. It's like, holy hell, what else is going on, right? But you never ask what else can happen, or can it get any worse, because it can always, right? So wherever we are, we got to figure out how to enjoy this continuation of the roller coaster ride. And, also know, as businesses, as they are reemerging, unfortunately, some are having to lay staff off because of lack of work, or projects have gone away. And also, especially with restaurants, due to requirements, they have to cut back on staff because they can't have as many people in the restaurant or bar as often, right? And even movie theaters. I have yet to be to one or hear of anyone that's been to one. But, from what I understand, they have to cut back on capacity. So again, as I said in my group coaching on Friday morning, the carny will not let us off this roller coaster ride, and it's driving us all a little batshit crazy. And once again, people are back on full time, while some, like I said, just are getting laid off, and others got into a different seat on the roller coaster. And while I'm thankful for some of the PUA assistance, my man Candy's pay was reduced, not the hours. So, he isn't working, maybe 50, 60 hours anymore. It's probably right around 40, but not reduced enough to where he can apply for any assistance. So, it's just, we're hearing daily about businesses that have not made it. Whereas last week I was talking about celebrating with the people who have reopened. And I was also talking with a client, friend of mine, on Friday in the coaching group, and because she works with small businesses. She's amazing Mel McMahon with Indiana Originals. And one thing she said was the next 90 days, and I 100% believe her, and the next 90 days as this, the PPP loans and other assistance ends, and loans and things that payments we've had delayed, come back, and everything is back to, hey, you owe me. That's going to be the telltale sign for some of these business owners. And unfortunately, maybe some of you, I don't know, hopefully not, but it doesn't matter. Big or small, all levels, big or small businesses, all levels are being affected. If you're like, oh, it's a big chain, it's not that bad. Well, everyday people are behind that. There are people running those businesses. It doesn't matter if they're making $10 an hour or $110 an hour or more. Everyone's being affected. Last week's podcast was about getting back to work. Let's be diligent, intentional, to help you stay focused and look towards the future. And this is definitely something that we're going to have to work on and need to practice for it to become a habit. And if you don't have a coach, you can always contact me, sballard@growingforward.biz. I can help you through that, right? Obviously. But we need to get back to business as unusual as it is, and as much as possible. We need it mentally and physically. Diligent. What does that mean? Intentional. What does it take? And focus. How can you stay focused? I've fought my battles with this on and off throughout all my years, not just during the coronavirus, this pandemic, as I have been calling it. And so have many of my clients and many of you listeners, friends and family too. No one is at 100% every day, but doing this this all stems from awareness, being diligent, intentional, and focused. All stems from awareness. It's checking in on yourself. It's like recognizing that you're eating just to eat, like I did at lunch today, and not hungry. Whereas some days I do okay with that. Realizing that you're not being fully present, for example, on the phone when spending time with family or other people, or even in a meeting. When we could meet in person, you could tell if someone's we're out networking, someone's got their phone under the table. It's like, what? I know what you're doing. And now you can kind of tell when you're on a Zoom call, especially if they don't put the video up. They're multitasking, and that's not a superpower. But, you've got to, I worked with a client specifically on being fully present, and because she had a bad habit of being on her phone, especially when she was spending time with just her son. And also think about something you said you'd do, but you haven't. Awareness, the knowledge or perception of a situation or fact. That's the definition. So this week, I want you to tap into this awareness and see what you uncover, like my client. Again, what was funny and helped her was that her son asked her, "Hey, Mom, where's your phone?" Because she was always on it. And she told him what she was doing. So he helped hold her accountable and even called her out on it once. Now, in her defense, she does work with realtors. So sometimes it's tough to, if they're calling about questions and things like that. But this awareness kept her intentional and present, and most importantly, helped her create healthier boundaries. All right, awareness. I look forward to hearing from you. sballard@growingforward.biz, or post here how tapping into your awareness and seeing what you uncover, right? And what you need help with to go forward and be more diligent, intentional, and focused. And if you need help, again, email me sballard@growingforward.biz, because this is a crazy ass time, and you are not alone on this extended freaking roller coaster ride. All right. Have a great week. I look forward to hearing from you on what you've uncovered by tapping into your awareness. Cheers.